In this tutorial, I'm going to cover some aspects of the attribute editor I did not cover in my previous tutorial. So one of the things a lot of people ask about is how to add units to different buildings. So we're going to take a look at the German HQ as an example. So we'll make a copy of it for editing. And we'll go to the spawner extension, which controls what items the building produces. So it currently only produces a Pioneer squad, so we're going to change that and add the squad we created in the previous tutorial. And set the UI position to 11 for now. And the thing about the UI position in Company of Heroes 2 is it's no longer strict. So if two items share the same UI position, it will actually figure out how to display them. So there's no more overlapping and no more issues with having the same UI position. The game will automatically figure out how best to fit them in the area at the bottom right of the interface. So that's actually a pretty big improvement. So once you've added the spawn items you want to that building, you can go to the squads. So in this case, we're going to check out our Fusilier squad. And it's important to check the requirements to make sure that these requirements will be met. So in this case, since this was a copy of the Grenadier squad, we're going to have to change the Bereichsfestung requirement to our HQ. So now that should be all you have to do in order for the new squad to be built at the HQ. And the next topic is something a lot of other people have asked about, is how to add new construction items to squads. So unlike Company of Heroes 1, squads now have the ability to define what items are built. So you just go to Squad Engineer extension and then drill down to a construction group. And in this example, since again this was a copy of the Grenadier squad, you can see that it can build a slit trench, a buildable campfire, and bunker, obviously depending on the requirements at the time. So let's go ahead and add a new one. We'll do the, there it is, fence, I believe it is, yeah. And the UI position is again the same thing here. It'll figure out the best place to put it. And let's just double check on the requirements for that sandbag wall there. So it just requires the West German race. So more than likely you'd probably want to make a copy of this for the Germans or any other faction you want to build sandbags, and make sure it's the right race and all that other stuff there. But that's all you have to do to add new construction items to a squad. And then another topic is something a few people have asked about, is how to add vehicle crews to other factions. So what you would want to do is go to the vehicle that you want to give a crew for. In this case, let's go with the Puma for the East Germans. And we'll go to the recruitable extension. And you'll notice that there's a driver squad blueprint. So in this case, you would create a squad that is going to act as the crew for this vehicle. And this specifies what driver or crew will be in the vehicle when it spawns. So that's pretty much all you have to do for the vehicle. Once you've created a squad, I'm not going to in this case, I'm just going to show you what you would have to do, is you would go to the squad combat behavior extension, and there's a can recrew abandon option here. So you drill down to this, and it's by default set to options none, and we're going to change that to is mobile driver. And it doesn't always show, probably just a bug in the interface, but there's actually a button here to expand, and now you have the option to bring certain abilities to the squad that this crew will be driving. So in the case of the US vehicle crews, they bring in a specific ability to have them jump out of the vehicle, so it's a decrew ability. So in this example, we'll add the ability here. Vehicle decrew generic, something like that. There are a few that are specific, but this is just an example. And then this ability, you would actually probably have to go in and create your own version. Let's see, where is it? But you would have to go in there, timed ability, okay. So you'd have to go in there and probably change the requirement to fit your faction, because by default the requirements are set for the specific race the US uses. So this would not work right out of the box for other factions. So you'd probably have to, let's say, I don't know, make a German one or something, and go in there and change the race. Or you could just remove this requirement altogether. That way any race could use it. That's up to you. But that's pretty much all you would have to do to get a crew working. I hope these topics help, and stay tuned for more tutorials.